Angel Creations. Welcome back to my craft room, my very hot craft room today. Excuse me. It is another hot day here in Florida. Grab yourself a nice cold drink or a hot drink or whatever you want to drink. I have some nice peach sweet tea. I got a fan blowing behind me. Hopefully that won't interfere with our crafting today. So, I have this sign that says Fall Breeze and Autumn Leaves. It does have glitter on it, and I have started to destruct it. We are going to, so what I did was I took the metal galvanized piece from the leaf off of the back using some heat. It comes off very, very easily, nice and clean when you add some heat to it. And I'm just going to spritz it and take one of these Dollar Tree scrapers and scrape off some of the let's use my water technique, and it gets all this glitter off your surface very easily. I call it the water technique, and it's a little messy, but it gets the job done. So we're just going to wipe that off now. And you will see a little bit of glistening, like it was painted on with a glitter, but the glitter is now all gone. Let me wipe it off this and you can see, well, it's blowing around. I'm sorry, it's pretty dry. I only misted it. All right, so now that we have our glitter off of our sign, we have our metal galvanized leaf off of the back of it. I have printed Fall for Jesus, He Never Leaves on the Cricut with Dollar Tree vinyl, and I have put it, I put Glad Press and Seal. Uh-oh, don't run away. Oh, the fan might be an issue. Glad Press and Seal is what I'm using for a transfer tape. Now, the first thing that I want to do is put some scrapbooking paper. This is from a book that I got at Hobby Lobby, but you can use any scrapbooking paper that you want. But for this sign, the only thing is, for this sign, you're going to have to use two pieces. It's not long enough. So we're just going to take our first piece, and we are just going to Mod Podge that right on to our surface. And thinking actually about drawing my leaf onto my paper first and cutting that out. So put your paper where you're going to want it, and then draw around that leaf with a pencil, and we'll cut that out. It will be harder to cut out after the fact. So I am going to cut this out, and I don't know, we might have to use an X-Acto knife. It might even be easier than scissors. Alright, so that's a pretty good rough idea there. And then I'm just going to draw right down here too, because I'll cut that off. Whoops. And cut that off too. So let me cut this out with my scissors, and then we will be right back. You know how to cut leaves. Okay, so I just cut mine out with my X-Acto knife, and I did it upside down. So in other words, I did it on the back because I want to, whoops, we have a couple spots here. This is the way the sign goes. I want my sign to go upside down because I want my leaf to look like it's falling. So let's see where my couple of little spots are. I got this little Dollar Tree mat underneath my paper so I can cut on it. Actually, I did a pretty good job. pulling that. So there is our leaf. So let's put the cover back on. I don't know if you guys have ever used a Cricut X-Acto knife, but they are the best, very sharp, and you can just clip another blade right in, easy peasy. So now I'm going to just cut off my excess piece. I think I'm going to do it both together though, because they both need to be cut. So let's cut. That was dumb, Jill. I need the line. Okay. I'm just going to cut those two pieces out because they will be the same width. And then we can use, to sand our leaf inside our frame, we can use a little emery board or something like that. And then I think I'll save this cute little leaf. It's very cute. And I just used a cutting mat from the Dollar Tree. And I have no place for it. Okay. So now we're going to take our Mod Podge, and I'm turning my, and it does have the toggle holes on the bottom, but those are not going to be in our way at all. So now we're going to Mod Podge right on top of our, again, this fan behind me might dry up. Whoops, that was a big glob. Let's try to get that out of there. Excuse us, we have a little Mod Podge booger. You know how they do that? They get little bogus knots in them. Alright, so I'm just rubbing my putting my Mod Podge on my surface here, and I'm gonna need a little bit more, and it is starting to dry up a little bit, so make sure you get your edges, or I'm gonna make sure I get my edges real quick here so that my paper can stick to my edges first. Getting a little sloppy with it because I'm trying to go fast. Getting my apron. Also, you want to get around your leaf good. Alright, before this dries up too much, I'm going to go for it. I might have to go back on and put some around the edges. So I'm just going to start. Oh, my paper's going to start at the bottom. I forgot. So we're going to just put this right around the leaf and smooth it out. Smooth it out, working fast. I'm gonna get my second piece at the bottom here. I'm changing my mind. I'm not using that other piece. I'm going to try to match it up if I can. If I can't, it's not a big deal. Alright, so this might match up better. Yeah. Right like that. Okay, I'm just matching my pattern up the best I can here. I'm going to scrape it. Make sure that's on there good, and we will trim that off. So this is what we have so far. Let's trim the bottom off here. And get that out of our way. Now let's trim it a little better. It is a very, very, very hot Monday here in Dade City, Florida. I don't know how you are contending with the weather where you are, but it is definitely, everything's falling around me here. Get out of here, flower. Alright, so now, in order to sand the inside of this, we're just going to take an emery board, and I am just going to go around the inside here. I'm going to start with my, I hate that sound. Start with my stem, and I'm going to file this all the way around my leaf. And you are not going to watch me do that because how boring would that be? So I will be right back when this is all done. Okay, so now that we have taken our little emery board and gone around all our little bits and bobs in our leaf, we are going to put our words on now, and I'm going to cut them off and use them one at a time so I can place them on my surface exactly where I want them. So one word at a time. Excuse me. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put on fall. So I cut that off my paper, and now I want to keep it on my press and seal and take it off the backing. Just like so. Okay, now we have the word fall. So I'm going to use the top of my thing here as much as I can. So we're going to write fall. We'll just rub that on there. And then we'll take our press and seal off, and the word fall should, if it behaves, it should stay on nicely for us. So now we have fall. And now I'm going to write for. Let's see, we don't need all that extra. All that extra just makes it harder for us to work with. But before I put my fall, we're going to put Jesus too. So let's see where Jesus is going to fit before I put my for. So I want to fall for Jesus. So we'll put our for right up here. Or should we put it here? Because I do want to put some of these wooden leaves too, don't forget. So let's take these and put these and see how big they are going to be. Like, I'd like to put one up here. Yeah, so let's put our for. Let's just put Jesus down first. This doesn't have to have an order. Sometimes it's hard to get it off of the, try to find the edge of the press and seal. Alright, so now we got fall. Let's just put Jesus here. Whoopsie. Fall for Jesus. Right here. You can rub it with your finger. That's all you really need. And then take your press and seal off. I guess that wasn't anything important that blew away. My hair's blowing into the side of my eyes. Real life, real life. Very hot. It's probably hot where you are. I think everybody, well, actually up in New England it's cold and rainy. I was talking to my family earlier, and it's a rainy day up in New England, up in New Hampshire anyway. So fall for Jesus. Okay, and then we want he never leaves, and we really want to kind of hide. We did our best to match our pattern, but we do have a line there, so I do want to try to hide that as best as possible. So I'm going to put leaves on next. Let's just rub this on a little better here. Alright, I'm going to put the word leaves, because Jesus never leaves. He never leaves. Alright, we're going to put that right down here. Alright, and then we going to want to leave a little bit of room in this corner for some of these wooden leaves also from Hobby Lobby. And now we just need the he and the he never. And I'm going to do that separately as well. So I'm going to cut these two off separate. And I'm going to put the he up here and the never here, so that I can put hopefully another leaf here. So let's put the he up here. So whatever you want to do for placement is good, but we're going to just put it right here. He. Press and seal is awesome. Awesome stuff. Even if you're not crafting with it, it's pretty good. Of course, it just called me a liar there. He never. And then, of course, we're going to take some of the new Kilns dark wax, and we're going to zhuzh this whole thing up. The paper, the leaves, the whole thing. And we're going to write, he never. Right there. Okay. Rub that on good. Get that press and seal off. I love press and seal. Even in the house, I love press and seal. Okay, now we're going to zhuzh it up a little bit with the wax. You can use Antique Waverly wax if you haven't gotten yourself any of this, but man, this is wonderful, wonderful stuff. Very, very happy with it. And we're going to just take a stiff brush, stiff stencil brush, and grab ourselves a paper towel, because we're going to dab it on. So I'm just going to hold up because the fan's going to. So here, let me show you what we have so far. All for Jesus, he never leaves. Alright, so now we're going to dab this on, and I'm going to go side to side, side to side, side to side, because we don't really have a grain, so we're just going to go side to side on here and give it a little grubby, a little dirty, a little weathered, antiquing, all the things, all the words. Tone that down. Like, get it nice and country and nice and primitive. Oops, our S on Jesus wanted to stand up. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do my outside edges, so that they're a little darker. I like that, how it kind of gives it a little outline, an edge. And then I'm just going to go down the top and do the same thing. And then around this edge. I know, I'm making funny faces with my mouth, I know. I know. My dad used to stick his tongue out. I like to get my corners really good too, because I feel like in reality that's where it would get weathered and worn a little bit more. Alright, so now I'm going to go around my leaf. really good, because I want that to be outlined really good. And like I said, you can use Antique Waverly Wax if you don't have this. And if you don't have Antique Waverly Wax, mix a little bit of apple barrel brown paint with a little bit of water. It will do the same thing. You just want to make sure that you dry brush it though. You don't want too much wet. You can tell, you can hear I'm pushing down. So what we're doing is we're getting our wax up inside our bristles when we do this. And so then you push down on your bristles and you have that control. All right, so this is a good place to stop and show you what we have there. All right. So now we are going to do the same thing with some of our leaves. So you know why leaves change color in the fall? Let's see, how do I explain it? All summer long, the leaves are growing, and the sun and the rain is giving it all the things it needs. So, it gets the water. Let me clean this up. The trees get their water from the roots, and then they get the sun from the air, from the sun, right? They get light, and then they get they take the gas from the oxygen in the air and they turn that into carbon dioxide. And then all summer long, the trees take that water from the roots and the carbon dioxide from the air, and they turn, and the water and the sun and the carbon dioxide all turn to glucose. And the glucose helps that tree grow, and it also produces chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is what makes it green. It makes everything living green, like the leaves and the grass and your plants. Let's tone down this metal while I'm gabbing too, with this brush and the wax. So as the days get shorter, when fall comes and there's less light, the tree knows, okay, we got to get ready for fall. Fall is coming. Now that I cleaned up, I'm going to do this, right? And they say, okay, so now we're going to have to hold on to some of our glucose. But little by little, they stop producing as much chlorophyll because they're not getting as much air. I mean, they're not getting as much water and as much sun because the days are shorter. I'm going to go full strength here for a minute and see that instead of daubing that off a little. So then they start holding on to their glucose in the fall because they're getting less light and less water, and they're getting prepared for winter, just like the rest of us do in the fall, get prepared for winter. So they hold on to all that glucose, and their chlorophyll starts to fade away. They don't have as much chlorophyll anymore because it's fall, and so that starts to fade away, and the leaves start to change their color, because it all depends on the leaf. Like maple leaves, they keep a lot of their glucose, which is sugar. They keep a lot of their glucose, so a lot of times they'll get beautiful reds, and all the leaves start to die, and whatever those leaves have kept for their glucose, it starts to make the beautiful colors, like the yellows and the all the beautiful colors. That's why the leaves change color in the fall, because the leaves all of a sudden they go, we gotta get ready, it's fall's coming. I'm gonna dab my leaves. They're very yellow and I don't want them quite, I mean very orange, kind of like a blaze orange, and I really want to zhuzh them up a little bit with this wax that I keep putting away. Just want to zhuzh them up so they don't look like we just bought them at Hobby Lobby. That's all. I'm going to go in from my edges here again. Give them a little outline. It kind of gives them a little dimension. Takes them from flat to fabulous. Alright, because look at the difference. This one has a little zhuzh, this one doesn't. Alright, so that's pretty good though. Alright, so now cover this up again. I think it's only going to have room for these two. We are going to put these aside. And we are going to flip our sign over because now we have to glue our leaf shape back on. So I'm going to have to do it the opposite way. So we're just going to take some glue and put it right around our leaf just like they had it. Just in the same places that they had it. It'll work for us. And we're just going to put our leaf right back on. Just like that. Oops, I got to slide it over. I got a piece showing. Let's see from the back. Okay, so we did get a little glue because I had to slide it over. So I don't know if I should touch it. See if I can get that off. I think I'll cut that off with my razor blade. Alright, so now we have ball for Jesus. Okay, and now we're going to put our leaf on top and we're going to add some raffia. So I'm going to take strands of raffia, the best that I can get them together. Raffia is a fun look, but it is sometimes really not so much fun to try to get everything all the same. So I'm just going to make a little shoelace bow with this for right now. Kind of like bunny ears when you teach your kids how to do bunny ears. If I can get my fingers to cooperate. Alright, so there's our little bow. We'll just adjust it a little bit. And we're gonna, that's gonna hang down, but let's see how this leaf is gonna look here. All right, let's put this first leaf down. And I don't know if I mentioned that these wooden leaves, and they don't have to be, it can go off the edge. I like it to go off the edge a little bit so that we're not all just straight. And I don't know if I mentioned that I got these leaves at Hobby Lobby. These did not come from the Dollar Tree. These are from Hobby Lobby. Alright, we'll just place this one right here. We might be able to. I don't think so, though. Maybe put one more. Yeah. Because that... I mean, I think I will put one more, but that means we have to zhuzh it up. Let's put one more. What color do we want, though? Do we want the oak leaf? I think we want the oak leaf. So I'm just going to zhuzh it up. Whoa, that was a little heavy. That's okay. We can wipe it off. This helps get all those veins in there, too. Let's wipe that off a little bit. That was a little heavy. Okay, so let's glue this leaf on too. I'm glad because I wanted to get all of these leaves on, but I didn't know if it was going to allow, if it was going to have enough room for all of them. Just want to get the I just want to get the edges of this. There. All right. So I'm going to have that one coming down. Whoops. Right here. Cute. All right, now let's see if we can take some of our glue glob off of this leaf. There we go. There's one more right here. And a little tiny one right here. And I just lifted my paper up a little bit right here in this corner. So I'm going to look for my Mod Podge. It looks like we need a little bit more. Whoops, it's a lot more in this corner. That happens, especially seeing that our glue was drying up on us. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Take a paper towel and we're gonna just daub our leaves so that some of that metal comes back, but not all of it. We want it to be old metal, not new metal. Gets a little bit of that hair going in my eyes from this fan here. All right, now we just need a hanger. Oh, we're gonna put our bow. I want this bow to be up here. So I'm just gonna put my bow. We're gonna trim it a little bit. It's a little long, but we want it to be scraggly. Just gonna put a little glob of glue on the top. Not much at all, and I'm going to put that as high up on my stem as possible so we can read the word Jesus right through that. Okay, and then we need a hanger, and this project is going to be all finished. What do we think of this bow? Is it in the way of our words too much? Because we can separate it, just kind of. We can trim it. I didn't want to trim it. Maybe we'll take it off our stem and put it over here for fall. And that way we're not covering up our Jesus. And we're going to put that as high up in the corner as we can. Yeah. And now we need to put our hanger on it. So, here goes my glue gun. My goodness. My goodness. Alright, so let's get a little piece of jute. Or actually, I think this is nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. Left over from another project. And we're just going to hang these right back up. Get a little coffee stirrer stick so that we can use that to anchor it. And cut that a couple times because we don't need it that long. Hands are sore. Let's cover up our wax, shall we? Alright, so now we're going to just give this a good heaping of glue. Something just made me look. Make sure I'm at the top. Alright, we're going to put that glue and we're going to just press this little wooden coffee stirrer right into our glue as well. And that will anchor this piece of nautical rope. Okay. Squishing that down. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Get some of that raffia out of the way. And we will just put a heap ton of glue. And we will press our popsicle stick or coffee stirrer right down into that. Hold that good. And this should be a finished product. As soon as I saw this sign, I'm going to put a little more glue at the bottom of these knots. Not knots, but this nautical rope too, because it's really fat. Probably should have used jute. It's sticking to me. Okay. That should be good. That's good too. Alright, let's take a look at our final product. Love it. I love it. Let's get the cobwebbies off. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? Okay, here we go. Fall for Jesus, he never leaves. How cute is that? This is what the back looks like. That was so much fun to do. I really did enjoy making this with you. And there's so many things you could do. You could just, you could change out the paper or you could paint the board, but whatever you choose to do, you could put Dollar Tree leaves on here. But I had so much fun with this project. It was really a really fun project to do. I love, love, love working with this wax. If you haven't found it yet, I ordered mine on Walmart.com. I think it was $9.99, and I am enjoying working with it. All right, everybody, this is a great time to give me a thumbs up. Sharing is caring, so go ahead and share this with all of your friends on social media, your family, and your anyone that you know that would think that they would like to do a craft like this. If you think they would be interested, go ahead and hit that like button and share it, and then hit that subscribe button. Half of my viewers are not subscribed. You only need to open yourself a little, you need to open yourself a little YouTube account, and then you can hit that subscribe button. You don't have to do anything on YouTube yourself. Just open up a YouTube account, and then you can hit subscribe. A lot of people have been telling me they can't subscribe, and that's because you don't have your own YouTube account. It's just like having a Facebook account or a Instagram account. You just need to open up a YouTube account with YouTube, and then you can subscribe. So, all right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed making this with me as much as I enjoyed making it with you. And tomorrow we have a Tuesday tree haul. And so until the next time that we see each other, be good and do good. Bye now.